Hello YouTube and welcome to our 23rd Unity tutorial. So after last time, which we added something to our game which I can't remember, the growing trees, yeah. I've been working on the inventory system to walk up to it, chop it down, get the wood and stuff, and it works, but I'm not going to release it just yet because there are some small glitches and bugs with it. I just want to fix and patch up before we put in. So the way I usually do my tutorials are, I plan ahead. So I like the tutorial before, so this tutorial you're watching now, I'm already working on next week's tutorial. So what I'm usually doing is like trying it out, cutting all the bugs out so I can put it straight in, no bugs, no hassle, instantly in, so it's all good. And today's one, what we're going to do is like this game here, Doom or Quake and many other games. When you're walking around, you like see weapons on the floor and they like sit there and slowly bounce up and down like this chainsaw here. I couldn't get a very good picture of it, so I just got this one. And what I thought would be cool is like, if you ever played Crash Bandicoot, they used to have warp pads on the floor, and you'd like hit these warp pads and you jump. But I thought it'd be cool if you put the weapon and the warp pad together. So like we have the warp pad and the weapon sits there floating above it. And then what we can eventually do is disable our weapons, like say the Hadouken, so we've got a basic fireball, and then you go out and collect this Hadouken, and then you've got it unlocked. But like you have to, we can eventually put it so you can only have to complete missions to unlock it. So I went searching and I got a warp pad texture, which is this one here. I haven't got a clue where it's from. Apparently it's from Banjo and Kazooie, but yeah, I don't know. So what I did is I took that into a photo editing program, which I use Photoshop. You can use anything else which has got transparency as well. And then I put it in, and then I got rid of the background like this. I've already done this in stages to speed up the video. So I used my magic wand tool for that, so I clicked, deleted it, but you can also use the rubber if you like, or the selection tool. And then when I did that, I rotated it straight, like so, and then I cropped it down. Then after I've done that, I saved it and put it into Unity, which is here. See, much easier, much simpler. So as you can see, it's got a white background because that bit doesn't show it. But as you can see, it's 256 by 256, so it's squared, which is good, what we want. And so what I'm going to do is firstly put a cube in. So this is going to be like a cube thing. And what I'm going to do straight away is drag the warp pad on top of it. There we go. We have our warp pad, kinda. It's a bit boxy. So I'm going to go to the side, the x-axis, and I'm going to scale it really down. I'm just going to go up here, make it 0.1. No, not 0.0, 0.1. 2, yeah, 1, because we want it to have a little bit of depth, so when you calculate it, it does go up a bit to show he's going on top of something. So that's done, and when we put that close to the floor, you won't actually see these sides. So if we go like really down and drag it down, nearly there, there. There we go, and it looks like it's kind of got edges. To get rid of these edges and make it look properly, we'd have to use a 3D modelling program, such as Blender or 3ds Max, but yeah. So there's our warp pad, but it's a little small. So what I'm going to do is go to a Y view and drag it next to our character, because we want it roughly the size of our character. So when he stands on it, it's a full body one. And I'm just going to grab the tool and make one size bigger. 3, 2, 2.5, there we go. And now I'm going to do the same for 2.5. 0.5. There we go. So see, we have a pretty nice warp pad. So then I'm just going to stick it away from our character. And then I'm going to rename it to Weapons Platform. No, Weapons Pad. So like warp pad, Weapons Pad. There we go. So that one's done. And now that we've done that, we need to firstly put a weapon on. So we're going to keep our default fireball because it's number 1. So for number 2 is our Hadouken. So from our prefabs folder, we're going to drag the Hadouken there and put it on top of the warp pad, about there. Lift it up and roughly put it about that will do. There we go. Is it in line? Need it to be perfect. There we are. So, much like we did the coin here, the rotation, which is that one, No, wrong one. That one. Load up. The rotation one here. Go away. Transform that rotate. We are going to do that, except we're going to have to add a couple of if statements in, because if we just make it go, say, up forever, it'll just keep going. So what we need to do is basically move it down till it reaches, say, 254. Then we're going to move it back up till it, say, reaches 252. So I'm just looking at the y-axis. So I think that'll be pretty good. So I'm going to roughly put it in the middle, which is about, yeah, there. And then we're going to have this disable all the scripts on here, such as the bullet destroy, because we don't want it to destroy itself, because then you'll never get the bullet, and that'll be a pretty crappy game. Kind of like get here and kill everyone in 10 seconds or you lose your gun. So, and I'm also going to take the rigid body off because we don't want it like bouncing or anything. Now I'm going to keep the sphere collider on it with as a trigger, because it'll save us later from when our character hits it to be able to collect it. So we're just going to keep it on for now. We'll still be able to walk through it. So I'm just going to make it a normal one so we can't walk through it. This has got a box collider on it, and I'm going to keep it as a non-trigger. And yeah, if you put this on and it's got a white background like so, if it's like that, then all you need to do is click the diffuse or whatever it is on, transparent, bump diffuse, and then it'll disappear. If it doesn't, you haven't saved it properly. I've simply saved mine as a PSD file, but you can also save it as a PNG, a TGA, or anything like that. Not a JPEG, so don't try to save it like that. Now that's that done, I'm going to create a new script in our scripts folder. New folder first. I'm going to call this items. And I'm going to spell it right. That's right, items. I'm going to create a new script, and I'm going to call this item bounce. Item bounce, because it'll kind of look like it's bouncing. So I don't want it to be instantly bounce up and down really fast either. I want it to slowly just drift up and down, because if it's going looking really fast, it'll look silly. So we open that, and to start we need two variables. We need a variable for telling two boolean variables, one saying when it's going up and then one saying it's go down. So what we can do is, like, if the go down variable's on, it's going down the screen, and then when it reaches the bottom we can stop the go down variable, make it false, and make the up one true, which will make it go back up, and then make it loop. So two simple variables, var, call this one go down equals true, so we want it to go down first, and then we'll duplicate that, go up, and then make this false. So if we have them both on at the same time, then it'll be trying to go up and down at the same time, and it'll glitch really badly. So in the function update, I'm just going to get rid of this function start because we don't need that. I'm going to add an if statement. If the go down variable is true, we've also already all done on this, so if you follow my previous tutorials you should understand most of this. If not, you can just keep watching or go revise back. But this is basic stuff with transforming and the positions. It also uses, that's it, it's basically just, yeah, so it's just basically cleverly putting if statements in the right places. So we've got that. So if that's true, we want it to move down. So then we put the transform.position. And if you ever want to link it to a game object, so say this script's attached to our character, and we don't want it to attach to each object. Say we created an object here, var game object is a game object, yeah. We can put here game dot transform, so it'll get the transform of the game object, and then change that's position. But if we just put transform.position, it will move whatever object this script's attached to. So in this case, it will be our Hadouken, which we want it to. So we'll get the transform position, but then we don't want it to move in all directions, which is our vector 3. So all we simply going to do is go into point y. So we want the y-axis. So imagine it as folders. We have the game object here, which is it's attached to. Then we have the transform folder. Then we have the position folder. And instead of altering every single folder in the position folder, we have the y. We just want the y one, the y-axis. And then we're going to minus equal it. So minus is down, plus is up. Right, yeah. And then go back down. Yeah. And then we want a slow steady speed, so I'm just going to go with 0.1, because I know if we put 1 it'll go, if we look back at our game, click our Hadouken, there's 1 right there. That's 1. So if we go from 3 to 4, as you can see, it's a massive jump. But if we go 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, it slowly looks like it's going down. So if we run all these numbers all the way after each other, it'll slowly look like it's bouncing. However, if we just put that on like that, it's going to shoot off really fast. We have no way to control the speed because it's every unity frame. So what we're going to do is get rid of that and just put times, capital T time dot delta time, like we did that for our shooting. And then if we just put that, it will slow it down a little bit, but we've still got no way to control our time. So what I'm just going to do is plus that by 0.02. So this is the variable you want to change if you want to control the speed. So what we could actually do is go here and create a new variable called speed equals 0.02. Because I know 0.2 is good because it took me a long time to test. So I'm just going to put speed here. So now it'll move its Y position by that much by this speed. So every 0.02 frames it'll move it down, so it'll slowly look like it's going down. If you want it to go slower, you change that to 0.1. If you want it to go faster, try 0.4. But if you set it to 0.1, it's super fast, you won't even see it. So I'm just going to keep it at 0.2 because it's a nice steady speed. And then we need to find a way to detect at what Y number it's at. So at the moment it's at 253. So we're just going to move it down a tiny bit there, just so it's between 253 and 254 at a rough distance. So Photoshop, no, that's it, yep. And we're going to create, so if the go down is true, move it, yes. But what we're going to do inside of the go down, when it's true, want it to detect if the transformed position Y here is, now this bit actually got me confused for a long time, but it's the way it works. So if you imagine numbers, say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is there, and then you've got your minuses there, like that. If we put more than up here, more than is up. So basically, if we want more than 1, anything more than 1 is 2, 3, 4, 5, which is true. However, if we do it in negatives in programming, I don't know if it's the same for mathematics as well, because I'm not very good with maths, but even though people say I should be because I'm a programmer. But yeah, if we want more than -2, it goes upwards instead of down. It still goes up. So instead of -3 being more than -2, it's not. -1 is more than -2. I don't really know how to explain that any better, but imagine it all going up from whatever the end minus number is. So say -44,000 and all the way up to 44,000. From that number up, it's always going up for more than. With less than, it's down. So if you want less than -1, it's -2. But here, if you want less than 1, it's 0. So it is really weird the way it goes up. It's like it always goes up for more than, but it always goes down for less than. So try and get your head around that early, because it'll save you a long time later. Because I was trying this for hours, trying to get it, and I eventually had to go get my friends and my brothers to try and figure it out, and they couldn't do it. But a quick Google search fixed that. Anyway, so we've got the Y position, and we want to detect if it's less than a certain number. So if we go back to Unity, what's the maximum we want it to go close to this? Ignore the error for now because we haven't finished it. So if we go down and say, that looks like a nice one. About that distance, then it'll go back up to, say, here, and then back down, so it'll keep doing this. So the lowest we want it is 254. So if we put that back up to there, and then go back here, so we want, if it's less than -254, like that, 54. So remember, it's going down, so we want that number to be less than the Y. So if the position is more than this, so or less than 254, which it is now, then it'll stop, and then we want it to go back up. If you don't go it, you will see it when it works. It'll instantly just click for you like it did me. So bracket all that up. And now that it's reached a position at the bottom, so what do we want to do with it? Well, we want to disable the go down variable equals false. Then we want to copy that and change it to up. but make that true. So when that's at the bottom, it disables it and makes it go back up, which is good. So first we're going to copy all this to make it repeat. Enter, paste it in. So if the go up variable is now true, which it is, then we want it to transform position minus equals 1 that, but no, we want it to plus it. So now instead of going minus, which is down, we want it to go plus, which is back up. So plus is always up, minus is down, same again. And then, however, here is different. We want this to say if it's less than, which is like it is now, but we want it to be more than. So what's the height we want it to go to? Around here, 200, yeah, 252. What's it look like? It is quite high. We don't want it to go up here, so if we like put it down there to there, yeah, 252 seems like a nice one. So we want it 252. But it's still in minuses. However, because we want it to be anything higher than 252, then we want it to go back down. It needs to be reversed, so it needs to be more than. So if the position is more than 252, which is upwards, then stop it, which is this one. So we want that to be true and this to be false. If it's more than that, stop and go back up. However, if it's less, which starts this one, then go back down. Then when it reaches the bottom line, do this, go back up. So now, if we stick that in, that should work perfect, because it already got the movement on, which moves up and down. Yeah, so we could just equip that and try it, and hope for the best. So grab our item bounce, no errors as you can see, stick it down here, Hadouken, there we go. So as you can see, go down is true, which is good. You can alter the speed as well, so if you want different weapons moving at different speeds. So let's play, and fingers crossed how it works. Turn. There you go. As you can see, ignore that true up there, that was for the testing. Yeah. There we go. So it's bouncing world pad. As you can see, if we stand on it, we slightly go up. But we can't actually hit it because the thing's not triggered. And as you can see, it's triggered tree. Yeah, as you can see, charring range. It is chopping it down now. And then eventually it goes. And then you gain 1 wood, as you can see down the bottom. So that's just a little preview for what we'll be doing soon. But yeah, so there's the Hadouken. Then what we can do in the next tutorial, or maybe a couple of tutorials after, is if that's there, then we can't press 2. It'll just not work. So, and then when we collect that, it unlocks it, and all we have to do is add 1 line into it. So basically, if Hadouken equals true, then we can fire. If it's false, then we can't. And then if our character hits this, then we make it true. Then it'll be all good. So, what we can do now is stick this Hadouken in the weapons pad. There. Like that. Then we can create a new prefab, which is here. Create prefab, and we'll call this Hadouken prefab. Right there. And we can stick this in, weapons pad. So that one is our Hadouken one, so we can drag these on. And we could make it a limited supply, so like, you have to collect bullets and ammunition, so you collect one, you have 10 bullets. Collect another, or 10 mana, whichever way you want to put it. However, we might not, we don't know yet, we're still in development. But yeah, so, that's it. What we're going to do though is going to fix one more error. I keep seeing this error pop up and it's doing me head in. So if we go back to here, okay, it decides not to come now. Play again, hopefully it'll pop back up. Is it there? No. Well, if you've seen the warning there, what says something's wrong with the character controller, I was going to fix that, but apparently it's not there anymore. So, yeah. And also what I'm going to do first is delete this new terrain. If we drag this terrain out here, and well, go to it. As you can see, that is our water pool, our old one. And we don't really want that anymore, so I'm just going to delete it out of here, make it look neater. And the floor. Where's our weapons pad? There we go, so we've got our weapons pad. We could drag a couple more on, so like there, and there. There we go. So if we play now, we have 4 weapons pads going up, down, There we go. I think that looks really cool. It's a cool effect. We could add that effect to our coins, so our coins bouncing. That would be a simple. We just stick it on. But the way we've done it though is if you put these on hills, it'll mess up. Because if we grab this, it's too the Hadouken here. Drag it out a minute. Yeah, it don't matter. As you can see, it's 252. But if we drag this up past it, 249, it will go all the way down back to 254, which we set it at, then all the way back up. So try not to put it on hills for now. In the future I might fix that, add a variable so you can change what height you want it to. In fact, I'll do that now, so that'll be really quickly. Two variables via up height, yeah, equals, and for now we want it 254. No, that's down. 252. That's the up height. Copy that, and we'll call this down height. And this with 254 minus. There we go. So if we copy the up height and paste it in here, and then copy the down height and paste it in here. So now, when we put that on, we can attach this to many different scripts, which is here. And okay, not that one, the Hadouken. There we go. Now we can change the up and down height of it. So if we put that on a hill, you can pull it down to the height you want, paste it in here on the down height, move it up, paste it into up height, and then you have it. So it's been quickly modified with two variables to work on hills. So that's how easy it is. Yeah, so that's that one done for now. In the next tutorial, what I was thinking of is doing that thing so you crack it and it takes the Hadouken off or something like that. If not, we will do the inventory tree, because we're eventually building up to the inventory. So we click that, we have 10 Hadoukens or 10 wood, and then that'll lead us on to building a shop, which could sell for money or sell the money we've got, which then we can buy weapons from, so we can buy bigger ammunition or better bullets and stuff like that. Scrolls, I don't know. Yeah, the game is endless. So, thanks for watching. Please like it, and if you have any questions, don't feel free to just post it in the comment. Yeah, you're allowed to. Don't. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks for watching, and see you later.